Keiko must be lifted one last time. Suspended 45 feet above the cameras, Keiko's patience and trust must now surely be tested. The noise and bright light seem to stir him, or perhaps it's the sight and smell of the salt water. Whatever the reason, it appears that Keiko will wait no longer. The order is given, and with a final roar of the giant crane, Keiko is safely back in his natural element. Suddenly, it appears that he may be caught in the cables. His trainers risk life and limb to make sure that he's clear. And finally, Keiko swims free into the cold blue water of his new home. Keiko's triumph makes headlines around the world. He's front-page news. It's clear that Keiko has become the world's most famous whale. He's an overnight sensation, even appearing on network television.
How's Keiko adapting to his new home there in Oregon?
You're doing just beautifully.
But again, it was the children who had inspired Keiko's rescue.
All these kids from around the world started becoming the force behind the plan for doing the right thing for Keiko. They were writing to us by the droves saying, why can't Keiko find a new home?
Across the United States and around the world, they raised nearly $100,000 to help build Keiko's new home. Keiko's biggest fans, the children, understood and championed his right to be with his family.
I hope he comes to Newport safely and, he gets a better life.
So we can get him back in the ocean.
To return him to the wild.
I'd like to see him go back into the ocean with his family.
Their pods are split apart, and they need to be together.
Inspired by such youthful exuberance, adults followed suit. Warner Brothers and the McCaw Foundation contributed the final millions necessary to complete the project. It has been a gargantuan undertaking, but fantastic achievements often spring from the purest minds. And so, Keiko, who once floated here only in the clear blue of our imaginations, awaits our next move to guide him safely on his journey home. Within days of Keiko's arrival, it seems clear that he enjoys his new home. For the first time in over 15 years, he is able to dive and leap, to all-out swim in cold, natural seawater in a place 5 times bigger than his pool in Mexico. The state-of-the-art design includes rock formations, natural acoustics, and random currents, all to simulate his wild ocean habitat. One of the most revealing signs of Keiko's new outlook surprises everyone. In a rare display, Keiko suddenly begins to vocalize.
I laid down on the side of the pool and started whistling to him like the trainers in Mexico had to call him. And all of a sudden he broke into this killer whale vocalization that went on and on and on.
Dr. Cornell wonders if Keiko recalls this dialect from his youth. To help answer this important question, the Free Willy Foundation turns to Dr. Roger Payne, a world-renowned expert on whale vocalization and acoustic science.
Killer whales make sounds which have components and elements in them which occur all over the world in all killer whale groups. But for every family of killer whales, there is a specific few sounds which only that family makes.
Dr. Payne enters Keiko's vocalizations into a computer program that converts the sound into an image, or spectrograph. Much like a fingerprint, these images identify Keiko's unique language structure and will perhaps provide a clue in finding his family. A hopeful match to the sounds of a group of wild orcas still living in Iceland. There are an estimated 6 orca families living along Iceland's eastern coast. Of these, 5 have been recorded. It's now clear that Keiko is speaking a dialect common to these orcas. But to which family? Many hours of research are needed to finally make that match. It is a true environmental detective story, but thanks to Keiko's newfound desire to speak, one that someday may be solved. No matter what his remarkable progress, Keiko's eventual release lies in the hands of humans and the politics of government. Iceland. A rugged island nation of 250,000 people, derives more than 3/4 of its economy from fishing. But over a 10-year period, nearly 100 orcas were also taken from its waters. President of the Icelandic Whale Friends Society, Magnus Skepardisson, recalls the controversy.
We managed to get the nation a little more aware of what is behind this. This is a suffer for these individuals. These are living beings that are aware of that they are taken from their families. I think all animal abuse is bad, especially if you abuse animals that are aware of what's happening. And look on this incident. These were 2 or 3 years old babies that were taken here in 1979 when Keiko was caught here and taken in imprisonment. And he hasn't seen his family all his life. Imagine how furious the world would be if a child would have been taken from their family and taken into slavery for some exhibitionism in the world. So I'm more glad than any words can express that this Free Willy work is starting now in reality, and I will be very, very glad when the Willy will come home and will be released into its natural environment where its family most likely still is.
The news of Keiko's plight first reached Iceland in 1994, shortly after